Yes.
At this time, I call the February meeting of the County Commission to order. We are honored to have with us tonight the Reverend Landis Lewis, the pastor of the First Assembly of God Church in Lincolnton. I'm sure he's going to be inviting people that don't have a church to come to his church. But Reverend Lewis, if you'll come to the podium and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Tankersley after the invocation.
Father, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for your grace and your glory that is upon us. We thank you, Lord, that you are the one who ordains government, and we thank you for these, our leaders. We ask that you would bless this meeting. We ask that your presence would not only be here, go with us, Lord. Help us to demonstrate the grace of Jesus Christ throughout our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reverend Lewis, you're welcome to stay or you're welcome to leave, but thank you for coming. Okay, before I go to the approval of the minutes, I want to make two recognitions. We have a new guy running the camera back there, as you can see. That is Mr. Walton, who we'll be discussing him a little bit later on the agenda, but that's him. And we also have with us tonight the Interim Director of the Lincoln County Development Authority, Ms. Christine McNeese, standing in the back. If you would, get her. Stand back up, if you will. Look at Johnny. So everybody can know who you are. But we're glad to have you with us. Congratulations on your interim appointment, and I'm sure that'll probably work out for you later on down the road. And just know that you welcome, and we would like to see you at some of our meetings. Don't expect you to every one, but we welcome you aboard the county government family. We look forward to great things from you and the Development Authority as we all work for the betterment of Lincoln County. Thank you, Ms. McNeese. Item 4 is the approval of the minutes that was sent to you. Is there a motion that we approve these minutes?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Item 5 is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion that we approve the agenda as printed on front and back?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Item 6, departmental reports. 6A is the Office of Emergency Services Director Casey Broom.
Chairman, Commissioners, good evening. As always, it's a pleasure to be here. I've submitted my written reports and have nothing to add at this time unless there are questions.
Any questions? Any questions, Director Broom? Director Broom, I noticed our call volume's up. We usually run around 3.5 calls per day, and I believe we're bumping about 5 this month.
5.2, yes, sir.
5.2.
Yes.
You think that's due to COVID, or you think we're getting in that posture?
That is a large contributor to the increase in the call volume. It has been previously. We're actually still, COVID numbers are starting to come down a slight bit now.
Okay, any other questions, Director Broom? If not, thank you. 6B, Recreation Department, Director Glaze, as you noticed, is not here. Basketball is going on. So he's got his report there if you have any comments, talk to him. 6C is the Finance Department Director Dawes.
Chairman, Commissioners, give a written report. Don't have anything to add to it. I will give you an update on our finance software. We did what we call parallel payroll last week, and County Clerk Keller and I finished that up, and that process went well. Our fake payroll matched our regular payroll, and so we're moving well on that project.
Okay, any further questions to Director Dawes? If not, 6D is the Public Works Department Director Seymour.
Chairman, members of the board, you have my written report for all of my departments. I don't have anything to add to those unless you have questions. I'll be glad to answer those questions if you have any.
Any comments to Director Seymour? Commissioner Tankersley.
Director Seymour, I see where we've got 4 new single-family homes so far this year.
Yes, sir.
Is that pretty much consistent to 21, or?
It's a little bit low, but I can tell you that, that we have issued even more since, since January 31st, so, and I know that he's got 5 on his desk for review right now, so it seems to be staying steady, yes, sir.
Good deal.
Anyone else? Director Seymour, is it not true that December and January are usually the lowest 2 months for housing permits anyway?
Yes, sir, it is.
So we hadn't really won a week last month. Any other questions? Thank you. This time I need a motion to go into our public hearing for the purpose of planning and zoning.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second,
Second, Mr. Chairman.
motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. We in our public hearing. Director Seymour.
Yes, sir. On February the 7th, 2022, the Planning Commission had the following request. Mr. Tristan Johnson for map 62, parcel 006, Augusta Highway and Asheville Barton Road consisting of 1 acre. His request is to rezone from A2 to C1 for the purpose of operating a small engine repair shop to include golf carts, side-by-side four-wheelers, along with some commercial and farming equipment. And that approval is recommended by my planning commission unanimously, Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Tristan Johnson, map 62, parcel 006, Augusta Highway, Ashmore, Barton Road, is zoned from A2 to C1. You heard what fits into this C1. I think it's a special use request as well.
That is correct. There is a special use component, yes, sir.
A special use request as well as a zoning change from agricultural 2 to commercial 1. Let it be included in your motion that we'll do both of those simultaneously. That motion, we accept the recommendation of the Planning Commission to approve.
You don't say 4.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Tankersley. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Clyde.
I had a couple of questions. Since it's a pretty nice residential area siding on 2 sides of that property,
Yes,
we gonna have buffers?
Yes, sir. He's required to maintain buffers according to the code, which means, and he currently has buffers between his property and any corresponding residential properties. He already has a wooded buffer on the Augusta Highway side and on the other side. Very little on the back side because I think that building's pretty close to the property line.
It is.
But he has told us that he is going to maintain those buffers. He's not going to make any change to the property.
And one more if I could. The hours operation, I know it's being resident.
Yes, sir. In his business plan, he is planning to operate Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yes, sir.
Sounds good. Thanks.
He had my golf cart down the other day. We had to work on it at 7 o'clock. What are we gonna do about that?
Well,
Make shocks on springs.
Commissioner Collins, I I need to rule you out of order. He wanted to know if it needs shocks on it. I'm assuming
Insinuating.
Okay, y'all heard the request. Is there any other discussion? Director Seymour? Okay, is there anyone here? Y'all thought I forgot. Is it anyone here that would like to speak against this zoning? Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor of this zoning? Madam Clerk, did I get a motion in a second?
Yes, sir.
I like to messed up, didn't I? Okay, there's no one here to speak for or against. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion from members of the board? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Mr. Johnson, congratulations. Wish you the most successful business that you've ever encountered. With the gentleman sitting next to you, maybe you need to keep an eye on him. All right, item B is a applicant. Director Seymour?
Yes, sir. On February the 7th, the Planning Commission also heard the following request from Thompson Concrete Materials. It consists of map 38 parcels 52, 55, and 56 on the Old Augusta Road. Those three parcels consist of .73 acres, 3.68 acres, and 2.2 acres, currently zoned A2. He is applying for C2 for the purpose of his concrete plant that's already existing there, was grandfathered in, but he's expanding the footprint a little bit and moving some things around. And the recommendation from the Planning Commission is to approve the change to C2 with buffer requirements. And that is that he would plant some kind of a evergreen, like a Leland cypress or something along the Augusta Highway side to kind of block that plant until the time comes that he will eventually, I think, move that plant back a little further than where it's at now. It won't happen right now, so, and Mr. Williams has agreed to doing that. But the recommendation is approval, Chairman, with the buffer requirement.
Okay, map 38, parcel 52, 55, 56, Augusta Highway will be, Planning Commission has recommended we rezone that from A2, Interior Agriculture, to C2, General Commercial. And the recommendation from the Planning Commission is approval with the buffers as discussed. Is there anyone here that would like to speak against this zoning? Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor of this zoning? Mr. Williams here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you probably well on your way to getting it, but come on. Okay. We had one time got up and talked, we were all for it, and they voted against it before we got through, so. Okay, then, if no one is here to speak for it or against it, there's time to make a motion. Is there a motion?
I make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Mr. Williams, thank you. We appreciate y'all. I see those trucks running. I remember when I used to ride by, them trucks wasn't running every week, but I believe you run every day down there now. Between Lincoln County and Savannah Lakes, is that where most of your work? Okay. All right.
Thank you. We did.
Okay.
Good to go.
Is there a motion that we come out of our public hearing?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
That's second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Before I go to item 8, I would like to say we'll be moving pretty fast. I like to say this for you here and those that are listening or watching, that we have a work session on Thursday before the commission meeting, and most, if not all, of the agenda items below have been discussed. To give you an example, that was about a 2-hour or so meeting, and so it's not a lot of discussion at this meeting. But item 8 is vehicles for the sheriff's department. Captain Taylor.
Chairman, thank you, and the commissioners. I'm sure Director Dawson's put it in y'all's notebooks, reference to the cars and the pricing.
Okay, I guess you requesting 2 Dodge Chargers.
Yes, sir.
And, they will be in on the government contract, which is held by Atkins Ford in Winder, Georgia. These 2 vehicles, we're voting not to exceed, I think, $77,000. They are $38,500 per vehicle, and that includes everything on it.
That's
Striping,
That is road ready, Chairman.
that's road ready.
Yes, sir.
I fill it up with gas for that.
Probably not, because we got to drive to Winder by the time we get it.
Make them fill it up before you leave.
Yes, sir.
Okay, these funds will come from Splosh 6.
Yes, sir.
All right, is there a motion that we approve the purchase of these 2 Dodge Chargers at a price not to exceed $77,000?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
That's second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Collins.
Captain Taylor, when are we expecting delivery? If we call in the morning and say, we want them, here's the money.
Commissioner, I would expect, since we're gonna do all the equipment at the facility, you're probably looking at least, at the very least, a 12-week turnaround.
I'm sorry?
At least a 12-week turnaround, I would think.
That's good. Maybe we'll get some sales tax money by then.
But Captain Taylor, correct me if I'm wrong, the vehicles are not on property yet, so they're
No.
not expecting delivery of vehicles till at least March or April.
Yes, sir.
So we're just trying to make sure that we're in the list.
Because they're going fast, and as you've seen in the past,
Any other discussion from members of the board?
I
Yep.
got one more. I'm just going-
Commissioner Clyde.
We're going with the same color scheme?
yes, sir, the vehicles will be silver, same color scheme, same striping.
Yes, thanks, sir.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Item number 9, Family Connections After School Grant, Reverend Daravius Colors, who is the director of the Family Connection. While he's making his way to the podium, there he is.
Mr. Chairman, Board of Commissioners, I would like to thank the Board of Commissioners for for the 23 years of great partnership as the physical agent of Family Connection. Without your partnership, we would not be able to assist the families and children in Lincoln County. August of last year, I applied for the Boost Grant, the Georgia statewide after-school network, with partnership with the Georgia Department of Education, administered $85 million for after-school and summer learning in Georgia. This is known as the Boost Grant, building opportunities in out-of-school time. Funds for the Boost Grants are made available through the American Rescue Plan that was signed into law by President Biden in March of 2021. Family Connection was officially awarded the Boost Grant this week in the amount of $9,800 for our summer camp program. This is a 3-year reimbursable grant. Funds will be used to expand access to serve more youth, reduce enrollment costs of our summer camp program, and to take youth on educational field trip. I ask the Board of Commissioners if you would please vote to receive this grant.
Okay, you heard the request from Reverend Colors to accept the grant, the Booth Grant for $9,800 for the summer camp at Family Connection. As you know, we are the fiscal agent for Family Connection, so this will go through Director Dawson's office. Is there a motion that we accept the grant on behalf of Family Connection?
I make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do for the children of Lincoln County.
Thank you.
The next item 10 is the appointment of the interim IT director. Let me make just a comment or two. As you know, Austin Dockery filled that position for the last, I guess, 7 or 8 years. He's gone on. He's working in the IT department now in Forsyth County, Cummins, Georgia. And he is hoping to get married about October, I think, and he resigned because he got a job. He will be living in Dawsonville, Georgia, and he can commute back and forth, joining county to Forsyth County, and he went on and took the job, so he had to leave us. And we're gonna miss him. Austin did a good job for the county, and we wish him luck in his new job in Forsyth. With the passing of one, you have to have another one. IT is not a real easy position to fill. And I don't know how we got as lucky as we did. And I'm saying that because Mr. Johnny Walton, who is in the back of the room, and this is one of his jobs as our commission meeting man. Mr. Walton has been the IT director in Aiken County, South Carolina, his entire career since he graduated from Augusta State University, in the second class that offered computer science. When Director Walton went to work at Aiken County, it was like it is today in Lincoln County. It was a one-person office. When he left some 30 years later, he had 26 people on his staff in the IT department, which consisted of several things, and an annual budget of $4.6 million that ran the IT department there. He comes with many, many years of experience. If you read his resume, and I know you have, he's got a lot of other things that he did, extracurricular things that he did over his 30-some-odd years in Aiken County in South Carolina organization. Mr. Walton is a native Lincoln County. His mother still lives here. When he retired from Aiken County, he bought a home here in Lincolnton on Sunrise Drive. And he worked for a company as a consultant for 3 years after he retired from Aiken County. His time there expired just a few weeks before we were notified by Director Dockery that he would be leaving us. And really, I just tell it like it is. Captain Taylor came in the office, and I was telling him what Austin had done. And I said, I don't know who in the world we're going to get to come in here with all these computers. We got about $500,000 worth of software work and all going on. He mentioned Johnny to me, and I called him immediately. He came in the next morning, 9 o'clock, and he's been there ever since. I talked to the commissioners, and they told me to go ahead. So we're here tonight I'll ask you if you will vote to appoint my recommendation for Mr. Walton as the interim IT director. That will give us time to advertise and post on the county's website this position. And then it will have to come back to the commission March, April. Could be as late as April, but maybe March, probably April. And then we will have to vote on who will become the IT director. I don't know if anybody's going to put in it would have a resume that would beat Mr. Walton's resume. He told me what he made in Aiken County, and I don't want any of y'all to know that. It was probably more than any two department heads we got put together, but anyway, we got him. We paying him on monthly installments is how we're gonna have to pay him, as well as some of the others. But anyway, is there a motion that we offer and make Mr. Johnny Walton the interim IT director for the county?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
That's second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Henderson. I think I heard that down there, didn't I? Okay, any discussion from any of the members? There being none, all in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, the motion is carried. Thank you. Mr. Walton, you want to say anything, or you? Thank you. Moving right along, item number 11, alcoholic beverage license, Clerk McKellar.
Yes, sir. Marcus Mason, commander of the American Legion Post 597, is applying for a Class C consumption of liquor, beer, and wine on premises, and he has met all his requirements.
Okay, you heard the request for an alcoholic. This is Class C, which includes liquor, beer, and wine on premises, American Legion Post 597. Heard the recommendation from the clerk. Is there a motion that we approve the recommendation and grant this license?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
The second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Item number 12, radio systems at Graves Mountain, Director Broom.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, in our work session, I came to you with a challenge at Graves Mountain. Our VHF digital radio system is the basis for communications for all emergency services, including the city and the county, as well as Public Works. And, you know, we augment that with cell service and stuff like this, but the radio is how we're dispatched, it's how we, let 911 know where we are and what we're doing. And it's noted that, and that system has been in operation since even before my time in one form or another. I came here in '97. It's been upgraded through the years. Just in the past 2 years, we've changed the location to a new building up there. We've made a lot of improvements. We've repaired the lighting. In those processes and certain checks, we found out that we were getting a degraded signal from the tower on the transmission side. That consists of two antennas, two 2-inch cables that go up, one's transmit, one's receive, and that handles all of our radio traffic on all channels. So we began to see signal dropping down, and what that does is when our tones go out for our fire departments, for our EMS, when our law enforcement officers are trying to talk to dispatch, they can't get back as good as they could before. And we watched that begin to deteriorate over a period of time, so it's time to make do some much needed maintenance and repair to the actual radio system itself. What I'm proposing is that we replace both the transmission and the receive lines, replace both antennas that have been existing there for many, many years, and get these repairs up and done so that our radio system is current and working to its maximum potential. I asked for two quotes, one from Wilson Communications, who has been our provider for many, many years. Unfortunately, they have declined in a letter that you received, made a declination for the bidding on, or for putting in a quote for this repair. Gunby Communications from Toccoa, Georgia, has done some work with the school system and has done some work with us. They actually were the selected contractor to move the equipment from one building to the new shelter. And he submitted a quote of $17,827.50, and I'm asking the board to please approve that we have Gunby Communications effect those repairs at the tower.
You've heard the request from Director Broom for the approval of $17,827.50. This will be paid from Splash 6 to Gunby Communications. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Now, second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr.
I
Chairman.
have two. Commissioner Clyde.
Mr. Broom, I know you and Wilson said they could not do it due to staffing and some physical problems. he had recommended on the antenna that we had a slight down tilt to help us with the signal.
Either that or a lower dB antenna, and that will be affected, and we're going to study it and see which is the best route to improve that local
So
signal.
we get the best signal. And I don't know if you or Robbie can answer this one for me, there's Seymour, but, I went by Verizon's new tower last night at Martin's Crossroad, and my signal was as weak as it's ever been. They still hadn't cranked that up.
We'll answer that one after we finish
All right,
the discussion we on.
thank you.
Commissioner Tankersley.
That was one of my questions about the tilt of the antenna. The other thing I want to know, what's the height of that tower?
300 feet from the top of the mountain.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. I will answer your question though, Commissioner
Yes, sir.
Clyde. They gave us a February the 4th date right here in this meeting.
Yes, sir.
When it didn't come on February the 4th, Director Seymour called and they've given us a date of March the 31st. I sent an email to him. I think I copied y'all. I think I copied the commissioners, didn't I? I thought I did, but if I didn't, I'll tell you what I told him. I told him not to issue the permit that we approved last month until this one comes on the app. That's what we told them when they were here last month. If they didn't come on, we wasn't going to issue a permit till it came on, so we on top of it, and we're not going to issue the permit to build the other tower until they get this tower on the app.
Amen. Glad to hear it.
Okay, got that. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Beulah Fire Department, number 13, Director Dawes.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, the Beulah Fire Department, and they're not able to be here tonight, has requested some money from their part of SPLOST 6. They need to replace two SPAs or air packs at $7,000 apiece, so that would be $14,000 for the air packs, and then they also need some additional carbon fiber cylinders that go with them at $850 each for a total of $1,700. So the total they're asking is $15,700 to replace some worn out equipment in their fire department. And this it is within their allotment of SPLOST 6 if you approve it.
SPLOST 6.
SPLOST 6, yes, sir.
Okay, you've heard the request from the Beulah Fire Department through Director Dawes. Is there a motion that we approve $15,700 for air packs for the Beulah Fire Department, paid for SPLOST 6?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion, is there a second?
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Commissioner Tankersley.
We ain't got nobody to ask. I guess I can ask
Director Dawes, he's been talking to.
Director Dawes. Are these replacements or are these in addition to what they already have?
It's my understanding it's replacing two that have ended their serviceable life.
Okay, they do have a timeline,
Director Broom could probably answer that more than I could, sir, or Commissioner Henderson. I'm not in, that's not my realm of expertise.
We all have air packs that are too old to be serviceable. And these would replace two of their older packs that are not serviceable.
Any more discussion?
One question,
Commissioner Henderson.
are these used packs or new packs? Did you ask?
I do not know the answer to that question.
Director
My assumption was that
Seymour,
they
do
were
you
new.
know?
It says new cylinder on there.
All right, I didn't think to ask William when he
What's the
called.
answer?
I think
You,
it was new.
I see new cylinder in the description, but my assumption is they were new packs.
This is the reason that we like for somebody to be here to answer these questions. We have a motion and we have a second, and we in discussion, but if we don't feel comfortable and we need him, we can always postpone it, or you can go ahead and vote tonight on the information you got. I think my understanding is they are two new air packs that they need, but if you prefer to wait, we could do that, or we could proceed with the motion.
I got one more question.
Commissioner Tankersley.
Is it a core on the old system? They just jumped out.
They're pretty much just junk at this point.
I noticed Director Broom shaking his head no, so I'm assuming that that's it. Any other questions? I'm assuming you want to vote tonight. So all in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. The UGA contract amendment for the new position for our esteemed County Extension Director, Director Dawson.
Mr. Chairman, Director Stewart is here. If I could turn it over to her, sir.
Chairman and Commissioners, thank you for letting me speak tonight. We have been working on getting full-time funding for a 4-H staff member for the past 2 years. Due to some hiring freezes on the university side, we have been unable to get their financial support, but I have finally secured it. So they have agreed to pay the benefits package and half of the salary for a full-time position. The Board of Education has approved their contribution to this as well. So we do have a existing budget for a part-time person, and we are looking for you to approve the increase to cover your half of that new position, which is going to be $3,179.
Okay, you've heard the request. I think we did talk about it in the work session. Is there a motion that we amend the contract for this $3,179, or will it be the $7,000 or something?
3179, didn't it? Would be the
So
right
that
number.
will be your portion,
would
and
have
then the Board of Education will provide the other $3,179.
Does that come into our budget, or we just approve our part of it?
Mr. Chairman, we would approve the entire amount, and then we invoice the school for it. So we'll be asking to amend the budget for $6,374. And then the school board will pay half of that, and we'll pay the other half.
Okay, 6374.
Yes, sir. That's the total amount of the amendment. That's all.
Okay, is there a motion that we amend the budget for $6,374,
So moved, Mr.
which
Chairman.
includes our 3179?
Yes.
All right, we have a motion by, is that a second?
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by,
Commissioner Tankersley made the
motion by
motion.
Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. While you walking back, I'll say this too. We did do a discussion on the phase 2 of the ag building, and we have included somebody else to work with us on that as it proceeds through the General Assembly as to whether we'll get that or not. I've asked Commissioner Tankersley if he would to work with me and you and Director Seymour on the buildings and what all we really need to do. So he's got a lot of experience in that field. I have none. Robert's got very little, so we're gonna depend on the guidance of you and Commissioner Tankersley. Commissioner, we'll let you know when we have that next meeting. Item 15 is the physical. You know, while I said that though, let me finish it. For those that want to know, we have the ag building out at the recreation complex. It's an 80 by 80 building that houses the extension agent and 4-H, a meeting room. Our plans now for the second part of that is to add and I'm saying approximately, it won't be any less, maybe more, depending on the money, of 88 by 160. Pretty good sized building. It's not enclosed all the way. It has about, I think, a 4-foot concrete block wall around it, but it will be a show arena that will be large enough for horse shows, cow shows, dog shows, pony shows, whatever shows.
You,
Go.
goats. Anyway, it'd be a nice addition to us, and she's worked hard on that, and I will say that Senator Anderson is carrying the ball for us in the legislature to try to get us appropriated $300,000. And we'll be going to USDA for some more. And of course, we have agreed to put some in-kind and some cash from sales tax into it to make this a reality. So that's where we are, and that's what we're doing, is the reason we asked Commissioner Tankersley to work with us on that. Physical agent for the Development Authority, Director Dawes.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, as we discussed at the work session, we've been approached by the Development Authority to assist them with their record keeping, their bookkeeping, and to become their fiscal agent. We already are their payroll agent. We do their payroll. And I have not had a chance to meet the new executive director before tonight, or the interim executive director for tonight. And so what I would ask of the board is that they give the approval for the chairman and I to negotiate a fiscal agent fee with the Development Authority and their new interim executive director. They kind of wanted to wait until they got her in place to have these discussions. And it may very well be that the Development Authority decides that they don't want to do that, but obviously their board has to meet and our board has to meet. It would just be a little easier if you would give the chairman the authority to negotiate that on behalf of the board. That's what I'm asking.
If you're gonna talk, you're gonna have to come to the podium where you can nod to me. Are you familiar at all with what we're talking about and what we're doing? Is that still sort of what y'all want? Okay. Let's go on with it then. We're voting that we will negotiate a price with the Development Authority, and I think we told you last week about what it was, and I think that's what it would be. I don't see why it'd be any less. If they want to give us more, we could take that. But that we would vote that we would become the physical agent for the Development Authority and give the Director Dawson the authority to negotiate the price. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
That's second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Director Seymour, item 16, Gill Point Road striping.
Yes, sir. If you recall, last month I brought to y'all a proposal to restripe or stripe Gill Point Road after we resurfaced it 2 years ago. And I was asked to go back and lengthen the amount of striping that we were going to do. I've done that, brought it back to you. This was discussed in the work session to stripe Gills Point Road, which is 2.8 miles from beginning to end. It's all the way to Pistol Creek Extension to the subdivision where the circle starts at the cost of $18,480. And that would be paid for out of T-Splost funds, Chairman.
Okay, we've discussed this. I think Commissioner Henderson, this is in his district, asked us to look at extending this length a little bit. Commissioner Henderson has worked on it, and I'm sure you for it. Is our motion that we accept it?
Yes, sir.
Have a motion by Commissioner Henderson to strike this 2.8 mile road at a cost of $18,480 to be paid for T-Splosh. That's second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it know, saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Commissioner Henderson, if you would, relate to some of your people you might really want to call Mr. David Turner. He's the one that's been pushing for it too, and let him know that we've approved it, and as soon as we can get it lined up, it'll be striped. You know Mr. Turner?
I think so.
He lives right past Beulah Church up there. Anyway, I'll give you that information where you can make that call to him. All right. Tax assessors carport, Director Seymour.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I have gotten pricing from two individuals to replace and repair the existing back porch cover and carport cover on the tax assessor's office, which is a low-slope lean-to structure that's on that present building. My recommendation is that we award the bid to Woody Parks, which is low bid at $5,500. It would consist of removing the shingles, removing the wood decking that's on there, and go back with a metal roof, repair any rotten joists that are there, and any rotten wood, and he would guarantee it for leaks for 2 years, at the price of $5,500, Chairman.
Director Seymour, is it not true that this is not just the garage carport thing that was there when it was a residential house? It covers a lot of the back.
It does. There is
back door.
There's a back door and a patio back there that it also covers L-shaped. That's right over here across the parking lot. But yes, it is not just a carport. It does also cover the back door and the back porch. Yes, sir.
And this would be paid for
From SPLOST 6, Chairman.
SPLOST 6.
Yes, sir.
All right, you heard the recommendation to repair this for $5,500 paid for SPLOST. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. And the motion is carried. There a motion to adjourn.
I made the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion, is there a second? Is there a second to the motion to adjourn?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Have a second. Thank you, Commissioner
Thank you.
Clyde made the motion. Commissioner Tankersley seconded the motion. Any discussion on whether or not we should adjourn this? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. And we stand adjourned. Thank y'all for coming.